Welcome to AI World TV, your go-to destination for everything artificial intelligence. Discover the captivating landscape of AI, where advanced technology finds real-life application. Subscribe to AI World TV for webzine articles, reports, podcasts, videos, live events, and latest trends. Hear from top industry leaders and discover how AI is transforming industries and our daily lives.
Welcome to the Deep Dive. We're your shortcut to getting informed on the big shifts happening right now. And today, we're looking at something pretty major in American policy. It's all about AI, artificial intelligence, specifically former President Trump's new AI action plan. It's being called a, quote, bold new strategy to dominate the global AI race.
Yeah, it's definitely making waves. And our main source for this deep dive is a really interesting piece from AI World Journal. It's titled Trump's AI Power Play: Deregulation, Data Centers, and the New Arms Race. And it just came out July 23rd, 2025.
Right. So our goal here for you listening is to really unpack what's in this plan, what are the key parts, and also, explore this huge boom it's supposed to kick off, but also look hard at the trade-offs. We're talking environmental costs, geopolitical ripples, what it means for tech companies, for us, for global rivals too. Okay, so let's start with the basics. This plan claims to dominate. Big words. What are the actual policy changes? What's really the core of this AI action plan?
Well, the article really frames it as an unapologetic acceleration. That's key phrase.
Yeah.
So concretely, that means a full rollback of the Biden-era AI safety rules, just gone. Plus, fast-track permits for building data infrastructure, think data centers, getting those approved quickly, and a really big number here, over $100 billion in federal support for exporting U.S.-made AI tech.
Wow, okay. $100 billion, that's serious backing. But what's the thinking behind this? It sounds like more than just fiddling with regulations. It feels like a bigger shift.
Oh, absolutely. It's a philosophical pivot. The former president stated it pretty clearly. The quote is, "We're not going to let bureaucrats or foreign rivals hold us back. America will lead the world in AI and will do it fast." So it's moving the government's role from being, a cautious regulator to being what the article calls an unapologetic accelerator. The priorities are really explicit now. Speed, building stuff, and beating competitors, particularly China. That comes up a lot.
Right. The China aspect seems key. So beyond just changing rules, are there changes to the actual government structures dealing with AI? The article mentions the AI Safety Institute being replaced by a Center for AI Standards and Innovation. What's that about?
Yeah, that's a really important institutional shift. This new center, it's designed to favor different things. Think open source platforms, decentralized AI, letting the market set the standards rather than having strict federal guidelines. It really signals a belief that, innovation happens best when the government steps back a bit on the specifics of standards.
Okay, and linking this back to the global picture, there's a researcher quoted, Dr. Ravi Mehta from Stanford. He calls it a Cold War for code. That's quite a statement. What exactly does he mean by that?
It's a powerful analogy, isn't it? He's essentially saying AI isn't just another technology anymore. His point is we've entered a new age where AI is no longer just a tool, it's geopolitical infrastructure. So the U.S. policy shift signals, in his view, that America is done playing defense in the AI race. It means AI capability itself is now seen as a core part of national power, like having a strong military or economy. It's about strategic dominance.
Strategic dominance. Okay, so this push, this acceleration, the article suggests it's leading to something called the second AI boom. You mentioned it's not just about software this time. What does infrastructure-driven and globally strategic actually look like in this new boom? How's it different?
That's a really critical distinction. The first wave, is heavily software, new apps, generative models, things like that. The second boom, it's much more about the physical foundation, the actual hardware. We're seeing huge sums. Venture capital in AI apparently topped $200 billion just this quarter. And that money is flowing heavily into things like chip design, platforms for synthetic data, autonomous systems, the building blocks.
So it's not just code, it's concrete and silicon. And the article mentions actual physical expansion, too, like 40 new AI data centers planned across places like Texas, Ohio, the Midwest. That sounds like a real digital manufacturing revival, as they put it.
Exactly. And it's already showing up in trade figures.
Yeah.
U.S. tech exports, especially things like AI for defense, cybersecurity tools, industrial automation, they've jumped 18% since the first quarter. So the strategy seems to be having that intended effect on exports, at least initially.
There's another quote from Miriam Goldstein at Liberty Capital AI. She calls it a new industrial revolution, saying AI is becoming the backbone of American productivity, energy, and even diplomacy. That's That's ambitious.
It really underscores the scale, doesn't it? It's not seen as just one sector, but something fundamental woven into everything.
But, okay, there's a huge but here, isn't there? Power, energy, this infrastructure, all these data centers, they need absolutely massive amounts of electricity. The article mentions a single hyperscale AI data center using as much power as 100,000 homes. That's hard to even wrap your head around. How big is this energy challenge?
It's colossal. And maybe the most critical, often overlooked part of this whole plan, the projections are pretty stark. By 2026, so just a couple years away, data centers could be pulling over 10% of all U.S. electricity. That's up massively from about 4% in 2022. It's a huge leap. And in those regions, getting the new centers, West Texas, the Midwest, they're looking at maybe a tenfold increase in energy demand locally, just in the next 2 years.
A tenfold increase. Okay, wow. So how does the AI action plan propose to actually meet that demand? Our grid can't just magically expand that fast, can it?
Well, this is where those executive orders come in, and they're pretty controversial. To speed things up, the plan calls for exemptions from major environmental laws. We're talking the Clean Water Act and NEPA, the National Environmental Policy Act, basically cutting out the long environmental review process for these projects.
Cutting out environmental reviews. So what does that mean for where the power actually comes from?
It means the door is wide open for building data centers powered by fossil fuels. Specifically, the plan seems to favor natural gas, also modular nuclear reactors, and even, in some areas, potentially coal-fired power plants. These are energy sources that faced more constraints under, previous climate-focused regulations.
And the justification for bypassing those reviews?
Speed and competition. The quote attributed to the former president is pretty direct. We're not going to wait 5 years for approvals while China builds tomorrow's AI on coal and nuclear. So the message is clear. Winning the race against China takes precedence over the usual environmental checks and balances.
Right. And as you'd expect, that approach is causing a major backlash. Climate groups are sounding the alarm, calling it an emissions bomb. There's a quote from Liz Zhang at the Clean Data Coalition. She points out that training just...
You are listening to the AI World Podcast, your trusted source for the latest innovations, insights, and trends in artificial intelligence, blockchain, fintech, and decentralized technologies. Each episode features expert interviews, engaging discussions, and in-depth analysis of how AI transforms industries worldwide. Stay ahead of the curve with the latest articles and exclusive reports from the AI World Journal, covering everything from emerging technologies to industry breakthroughs. For more news, global events, and access to AI World Society circle gatherings, visit us at aiworld.tv. Don't forget to subscribe to stay informed, stay connected, and be part of the AI revolution with AI World Lounge. Thank you for listening.
One big AI model already emits more co-hours than flying 100 times across the Atlantic. That really puts the energy use into perspective, doesn't it?
It really does. And it's not just the co-euro emissions. The source article emphasizes other real trade-offs for society. Things like, jobs being displaced by automation, ethical questions around AI developing so fast, maybe without guardrails, data privacy getting eroded, and then there's the direct strain on the power grid itself. The article actually cites reports saying the AI boom leads to record U.S. grid costs, call for new plants. So it's hitting consumers and utilities in the wallet too, requiring expensive upgrades to the whole system.
Okay, so let's try and pull this together. Looking at the big picture, who are the main players here? Who really stands to gain from this AI action plan, and who faces the biggest risks or downsides?
Well, on the winners list, you've definitely got AI innovators, tech companies, investors. They see fewer regulations plus new federal money, especially for exports. U.S. tech developers specifically get more freedom with those Biden-era safety rules gone. And anyone making U.S.-based AI tech benefits from that huge $100 billion export support fund.
And certain places benefit too, right? Geographically.
Absolutely. Those regions attracting the data centers, West Texas, Ohio, parts of the Midwest, they're expecting that digital manufacturing revival.
Yes.
Jobs, investment, but also huge energy demand. And of course, the energy companies providing the power, particularly natural gas, potentially modular nuclear suppliers, maybe even some coal producers. Their prospects look better under this plan. And then the overarching goal is for the U.S. as a nation to gain a competitive edge, specifically against China.
Okay. But then there's the other side of the coin, the potential losers, or at least those facing major risks.
Right. Environmental groups obviously are deeply concerned about the rollback of regulations and the potential emissions increase. You could argue society as a whole faces risks of the environmental impact, potential job losses down the line, those ethical and privacy concerns we mentioned. The whole framework of the Biden-era AI safety approach is being dismantled. Federal guidelines for AI standards are taking a backseat to market forces. And as we keep coming back to, the existing U.S. power grid is under immense pressure, facing record costs, needing urgent, massive investment. It's a really complex picture with clear winners and potential losers.
So wrapping up this deep dive then, what we're seeing with this AI action plan is really the starting gun for America's next big AI push. It's defined by deregulation, lots of capital investment, and a massive, almost unprecedented reliance on energy.
Exactly. And it leaves us with the central question that the source article poses, which I think is worth repeating. Whether this bold approach secures long-term leadership or exposes the nation to deeper risks, economic, environmental, or geopolitical, will depend on how the U.S. balances power, progress, and responsibility in the years to come. It really puts the ball in our court, for you listening as well, to think about those trade-offs as this technology continues to accelerate.
The future of artificial intelligence is unfolding, and it's happening at AI World Week, the flagship global event for innovation, collaboration, and transformation. This flagship global AI event is designed to connect visionary leaders, trailblazing entrepreneurs, and influential thinkers to explore the endless possibilities of AI. Experience groundbreaking technology that redefines industries and inspires progress. Join thought-provoking discussions on ethical AI, digital equity, and the transformative role of technology in our world. Build meaningful connections that catalyze innovation and drive impact. AI World Week is powered by AI World Society, a global movement dedicated to advancing AI responsibly and ensuring it serves humanity. Together, we're shaping a smarter, more inclusive, and equitable future. Continue your journey beyond the event with the AI World Journal, offering expert insights, in-depth analysis, and the latest trends shaping the AI landscape. This is your opportunity to lead, to innovate, and to transform the world with AI. AI World Week. We invite you to join us and embrace the AI revolution.